Hi everyone, Loll Thompson here with a tutorial on the faux mother of pearl technique. I've used this technique a lot and you can see my cards that I've made with it on my blog stampingwithloll.com. On the right hand side there's a column with a search engine for techniques, and just click on faux mother of pearl and it will take you to all the cards that I've made with this. It's a very simple technique, easy to do, but has a huge impact on cards. So let's get started. Today I'm using two colors of ink, Tangerine Tango and Melon Mambo. I love this color combination, actually it's my favorite, love it. But before we sponge the card stock with these colors, I need to add some frost paint, which is a resist, and will show through the colors later on, and that's the mother of pearl look. So let's get started with that. We'll move the inks aside. The frost paint I use is by Sukaneko. It's called Frost White, and it's acrylic frost paint that has a bit of a shimmer to it. You need to mix it up, make sure it's mixed well. Today I'm using a small panel for my card. It's one that I use quite often on my cards. It's 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, which is 1/8 of a regular size piece of cardstock. So because I'm just using a small panel today, I only need just a little bit of the frost paint. You take a piece of cling wrap, scrunch it up, and then dip it in your frost paint and pounce it into your cling wrap to make sure it's worked in and you don't have any big globs of paint. Then what you do is you pounce onto your cardstock lightly, leaving lots of open space so that the rest of the card can take the sponged colors. So that's it for the frost paint. I'm going to try and hopefully you can see the wet paint. You can see the design. I'm just going to set that aside. It dries in a couple minutes. I'm just going to wipe off my craft mat. Okay, now I have this and it's dry. So I'm going to start by just putting on a base coat of my sponging, just a light coat to get the whole cardstock covered, and then I can go back in and add a lot more ink, a lot more darkness and saturated color, and it will blend easier. I'm just going to randomly sponge leaving space to add the pink. Okay, so now I have my base coat on. I'm going to go back in now and add a lot more ink, and it will blend easier now that it's got a layer of ink already on the cardstock. Now I'm going to add the pink, and not only am I going to go over the pink areas, but I'm also going to add some of the pink over the orange, and that just sort of gives me a coral color. It's just gorgeous. And then even though we're just using 2 colors of ink today, there's many different tones on this panel, and it makes it just beautiful. And now that you can see that the darker colors are on there, you can see the frost paint design. Going to add a little more orange. Okay, so I'm happy with that now. So now that the sponging is done, the ink sits on top of the frost paint. It does go into it a little bit, but quite a bit sits on top. So just take a dry paper towel and buff it up, and then you'll see more of the frost design that's on the panel. So I'm going to just tilt this a little bit and hopefully you can see the shimmer and shine of the frost design. It's very, very pretty. So that is the faux mother of pearl, and it's a very simple technique, as I mentioned before. So I'm just going to show you a card I made using that panel. I added a simple die cut of leaves. I did shape the leaves a little bit just to give it some interest, and a little banner with a stamped happy birthday that is also shaped. And I also added a piece of the faux mother of pearl to the inside for interest. So it makes for a lovely background. You can add very simple die cuts or stamping on it, and it makes a beautiful card. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on faux mother of pearl. Thanks for watching.